So I haven't been on that while in a long time. Y'all was like, where is the man with the plan? Let me see. This was last month, I think it was. They were celebrating. It's this month or last month. They were celebrating Easy E. I think it was his birthday or something, or something. It was a celebration for my favorite rapper, Easy E. They were celebrating something for him. I know it's probably his birthday. Shout out to his family and his children, everybody there celebrating Easy E. AJ Johnson also, in other news, had died. Um, his manager reporting that he had passed. So rest in peace to AJ Johnson. Um, you see, like I told people, man, it is really a problem. It is really not a good idea for black folks to go to these hospitals right now because even though they're saying, hey, get these tests and for COVID and stuff, go get those tests. And then you find out you get it once you go there. You see. Also, in other news, man, former Atlanta hip hop star, is it Fame Mo? I hope I said that right. Well, he's been sentenced to 17 years in federal prison of PPP fraud. And the FBI is talking about, well, we won't tolerate that. Well, okay, we got a lot of white men out here stealing, but they're not going to jail. So you got police officers out here killing and shooting black folks unarmed, and then y'all pretend like y'all don't have no evidence when a white person do something. As soon as a black person do something, oh yeah, let's sentence you to 20 years, nigga. Excuse me. We're gonna put you under the jail. All right, so the Fair Use Act always give us permission, of course, to create critique things. And family, let me just tell you, critiquing is very important. Okay, because the white media has a plan. They have a plan to keep us into a situation where we basically continue to be confused, be to be, put in a position that we are just inundated with entertainment, all kinds of things that keep us from not, advancing in this society. Okay, so that's what I want to get off my chest today before we get into our subject matter of today, talking about what Jim Crow, Joe Biden, and Kamala Harris and all these folks at the border are doing to the Haitians here. Um, no phone calls tonight. I would prefer that you chat with us on the chat, inside the chat. Thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. Get our lights up here. Get our lights up. Share and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Get our lights up. Okay. Now, um, we've been talking about why Jim Crow Joe Biden didn't need to win. All of you Biden sexuals, you went out there, you voted for Jim Crow Joe Biden, and now look at it like how he's treating you. Told you when the Democrats get in jail, you put more black folks into politics, you're going to see more black people entering the system. Understand? And now what you're seeing everything we've been telling y'all is now coming to fruition. We've been telling y'all about Jim Crow Joe. We've been telling y'all that this man is not who you think he is. And then they just came out with the report, genealogy. They did like his ancestry background, and they found that his family owned slaves. So of course he is not going to give you any kind of justice and reparations. He lied talking about he's going to meet with Ice Cube. That never happened. Thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe, family. So we knew that Jim Crow Joe Biden, and we told y'all here in the black media that Jim Crow Joe Biden is no different than anybody who you're talking about who don't like black folks. You understand? You see, we knew that the Republicans were not going to do anything for us. We just basically know that everybody get that smoke when the Republicans are in office. They let you know, they let us know where they stand. The black man has to understand that when other men let you know where they stand, it's time for you to go do something yourself. How many times that we're going to keep on in the black media saying that we need to do something together? The Haitians, of course, are now learning that when they say that illegals can cross the border, they don't mean black people. I'm gonna allow you Afghans to come over here because you want to escape the Taliban. I will allow you illegal immigrants, you Mexicans, y'all can come over here. We're gonna give y'all money. We're gonna give y'all a house. We're gonna put millions of dollars a day in Afghanistan and spend millions of dollars of Afghanistan in Afghanistan, and we're gonna ship y'all over here to the United States. We're gonna make sure you're heavily processed. We're gonna get you over here so you can have asylum. And so when the Haitians heard that, they said, "Okay, well, our country is in turmoil. Our president just got shot and killed. An earthquake just happened. So let us go to the United States and seek asylum." No, no, no. We didn't mean you niggers. We didn't mean you niggers. We only mean those people who have the skin for the protection, the complexion for the protection. We didn't mean for you niggers to come over here. Let me go ahead and get the planes gassed up and send those niggers back to Haiti. You understand? We told you about Jim Crow Joe Biden. We told you that Jim Crow Joe Biden is not going to basically give black folks anything. That white people who are in government and white people in general, basically mostly those who gets into office, are going to continue to play their benign and neglect with black folks. You understand? There's, like I told you, there's no universal law that we have to do what you say in a system. That's what you have to keep telling your people. And since black folks are so unorganized and disorganized, they still thinking that, hey, oh, let's put the Democrats back in office. Remember we told you about D.L. Hughley? Where is he at? Remember D.L. Hughley talking about, hey, oh, he can't do anything with the contract of Black America because he's not in office yet. He can't promise you anything. Well, it seems like they're promising the illegals a lot. You understand? And now you see what we've been trying to teach you about the Democratic Party. Oh, you niggas, man, y'all just Republicans and conservatives and shit. Y'all niggas always talking about that. See, y'all niggas don't like the Democrat, but see, y'all like them Republicans. And that's black folks' biggest problem. Just because we denounce one party, that doesn't automatically mean that you like another party. That's foolish. We told you throughout our black media campaign that we've been going through. The black media have been around since 10, 15 years. We've been telling y'all that we don't like the Republicans either. They are both on cold when it comes to discrimination against black folks. Yeah, I have a white conservative call me up or black conservative call me up and try to get me to go to agree with them on the Republican or conservative side. And then now I got people saying, well, conservatives like yourself. No, nah, don't give me that title. I'm just a black man in America. Like Malcolm said, I'm a black man in America. We're looking at both parties. We're seeing that both of them are no good. When it comes to black folks, both of them treat us bad. And there's no substitute for us besides having and creating our own party. And then basically, what they're trying to do, they're undermining us with all these illegal immigrants. But the Haitians finally got their wake-up call. Where's Candace Owens? Where is Butterball Biscuit Eating Roland Martin? None of these clowns that's already in the United States who are Haitian, they're not even speaking out about what is going on in the border. And so, of course, are we going to basically allow Haiti to be treated like this? White House says is seeking more information on horrific footage of Border Patrol agents confronting Haitian immigrants. You had one white reporter out there calling them migrants. Migrants. The terms used to describe black folks over those uh, Afghanistan who they're calling now refugees and giving them homes, giving them houses. You see, we are not like the civil rights generation. We confront white power by any means necessary. And so the civil rights generation has set them to think that we're going to do the same thing like them and think the same way and basically get our ass beat like John Lewis and Selma. Oh no, we're not doing that. We're not playing that game. But CNN did this here. They wrote it, and I'll give them credit because this is our fair use uh, policy here, where we give credit to those who write articles. But also, we basically in the black media wants to critique. That is very important. And of course, you got ScrewTube. They don't like it when black folks are telling the truth. We've been talking to you about this vaccine. They've been interrupting our cable networks and screening, interfering with our connections on ScrewTube. They've been doing a lot, man, to try to shut the black media down. In fact, what the black media should do is we should start building networks so that we can come on 24/7, so that we can talk about the difference between what the white media is trying to analyze and propagate as it opposed to what black people should be listening to. These fraudulent black news sources like BNC or TV One or or BT News that used to be, or even Black Enterprise or Jet or whatever, the old dead black media, they are no longer relevant. Roly Poly Martin is no longer relevant. You understand? And therefore, what we did with the civil rights generation, we told them to go and sit down. We gave them, like I said, their pink slips. Almost what? When the Democrats was trying to get back in office, that's when we gave the civil rights generation their pink slips. And then you have the white supremacists trying to prop out these civil rights clowns like like black folks are listening to them. No, they're listening to the new voices of black media. They're not listening to Roly Poly Martin talking about how he support the Democrats. They're not listening to nobody but the new voices of black media. But CNN wrote a article that I want to basically talk about when we talk about this crisis at the border with Haiti. CNN basically tried to be the so-called liberal um, media outlet, and the Democrats took on this situation. Oh, this is for everybody. Remember, like I told you before about the Democrats. Remember, back in during Reconstruction. Remember, they said that this is a white man country or white people country. It should be ran by white men. Now you see that the Democrats just want to include everybody so that they can undermine us. That's the reason why they had to pick Kamala Harris, who is Asian. But the article goes ahead to go ahead and say that White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said Monday that the White House is seeking more information on the horrific viral video that. Man, why is this state? Hold on. That appears to show that the U.S. Border Patrol agents on horseback confronting Haitian refugees at the U.S. border. Okay, now nothing wrong with that line right there. Haitian refugees. Okay, I've seen some of the footage. I don't have the full context. I can't imagine what context would make that appropriate. But I don't have the additional details, and certainly I don't have the additional context. Psaki said at the White House press briefing. I don't think anyone seeing that footage would think it was acceptable or appropriate. End quote. Now, so far, I don't have a problem with what the news reporter here said. I'm sorry. For news reporters, so far read, made sense. I can agree with that. I can give you credit where credit is due. Okay, but let's continue here. Videos taken by Al Jazeera and Reuters appears to show law enforcement officers on horseback using aggressive tactics when confronting migrants. You see how that is? Now, we went from refugees to migrants. Understand? We went from refugees to confronting migrants now. You see how CNN word this, man? Including authorities swinging long reins near migrants who crossed the U.S. Mexican border near Del Rio, Texas. You see what I'm saying? They continue now to use migrants. You see, this is the game that the white media plays. You're going to start off calling them refugees. And in this specific article, you got migrants all over the place. Let's read it. In an Al Jazeera video, a law enforcement officer on horseback is seen swirling the long reins near a group of migrants. Shortly beforehand, another individual on horseback is heard yelling at the migrants, saying, "You use your women. This is why your country's shit. Your country is shit because you use your women for this." Okay. Now let's see what they're talking about, how they're using your women here. Your women here. What, to cross over? How's they using their women? Let's look at this image. Okay. Well, we can say the same thing about the pictures that you all are putting up here. Thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe here. Now, this is not no different than what we saw in the 1800s, 1900s. That you have a racist in the White House, so you should expect these types of images. Although the profanity is redacted in the video report, Al Jazeera English reporter John Holman published the full quote. He attributed to an unnamed Border Patrol agent on his Twitter page, on his Twitter. Then at the law enforcement officer attempting to corral the migrants. You see? Migrants, 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 migrants. One of the officers appears to swirl the horse reins near, I hope I'm saying that right, near one of the migrants. See? Migrants, migrants. The scene played out near a crowded makeshift encampment in Del Rio, where thousands of migrants, including families, pregnant women and babies, have gathered under the Del Rio International Bridge. They sleep in the dirt, surrounded by growing piles of garbage, exposed to the elements, and without much food and water, in hopes of being processed by the overwhelmed U.S. Border Patrol. Pressed by the report Monday for response to footage, Psaki called it horrible to watch, end quote. And before I go on there, remember what they were doing for the Mexicans, what they were doing for the Afghans. The foundations were coming in, like the Red Cross and all these other folks. They were coming in providing food, shelter, and water. And they get an opportunity to come back to the shelter after they, go out and find and seek work. Okay, and then they had this one man. He was on TV, the news or whatever. He was telling them, "Hey, we provide them with food, and they get to sleep here, and then when they wake up, they're off to their day." Okay, but now you Negroes, y'all coming from Haiti? Oh no, you niggers, y'all got to return. Spirit, uh, who else can help us out here? Delta, all of you on the aircraft, let's line them up. Let's get them the hell on the plane, ship them right back. They even had the news camera over there that shows when they just start coming off the plane in their country. They said, hell no, white folks like y'all niggers got to go back to your country. You understand? But see, if they and then they're upset because black folks are not even saying that this is wrong. But when you look at Roland Martin, when you look at Candace Owens, when you look at other Haitians who've been basically over here undermining us, why would we speak out against this? See, we as black folks, we got to deal with our own problems. We got to deal with our own coons. And then we have to deal with the coons that comes from Haiti, it comes from other Caribbean nations and islands, and in Africa, whatever. We have to deal with the coons who try to come over here and try to help white mommy and white daddy undermine us, you see. The article goes on to say that, in quote, I can't imagine what the scenario is where there would be appropriate. I'm certainly not suggesting that, but we have just seen the footage early this morning, she said. Ask if the agents seen in the footage should be fired for their action in dealing with migrants. Okay, Saki said. Of course, they should never be able to do it again. Now, she didn't say that they should be fired. She said, of course, they should not be able to do it again. In other words, either you won't be in this particular Border Patrol position, but we're going to reassign you. Like white people, they get reassigned. Okay. And when they do get, they don't get fired, they get reassigned. So even though you're not working in that police department, let's go ahead and see what this village over here, these race soldiers over here, they could probably hire you so they can hide you out. You see? So here we go. It goes on to say, I don't know what the circumstances would be. It's obviously horrific, the footage. I don't have any more information on it. So let me venture to do that, and we'll see if there's more to convey, she added. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, speaking at the news conference near the border on Monday, defended the use of horse patrols, but said the department would investigate the situation. You see, with us, it's always investigate. We told you why they want Hispanics and Mexicans over here. We told you why they want the Afghans over here. Their numbers are dwindling. So now you got to then help. You got to find people who basically is off code. You got to find coons. You got to go and find other people from immigrants countries, and they're going to help do all this stuff against black folks. They're going to be the ones that we're going to use you all to help us to maintain white supremacy. The article goes on to write by CNN. This contributor writes and states, though, that in a series of tweets Monday evening, DHS said it does not tolerate the abuse of migrants in our custody, and that the U.S. Custom and Border Protection's Office of Professional Responsibility is investigating the incident. The department said Mayorkas directed that personnel from the Office of Professional Responsibility be on site full time to ensure that the responsibility of DHS personnel are executed consistent with applicable policies and training in the department's values. The footage is extremely troubling. In fact, facts learned from the full investigation, which will be conducted swiftly, will define the appropriate disciplinary action to be taken. Early Monday, Mayorkas had said, according to the U.S. Border Patrol Chief Raul Ortiz, that long reins are used to ensure control of the horse. Okay. But we are going to investigate the fact to ensure that the situation is as what we understand is to be. And if it's anything different, we will respond accordingly, he said. Speaking alongside Mayorkas, Ortez says Horse Patrol units played an integral part in the security response in Del Rio. As you know, we have about half of this area locked down, and we're working on trying to get the other side of the bridge completely locked down, he said. Ortiz said he had asked that the Horse Patrol unit do an assessment on Sunday to find out if any individuals were distressed and provide information and intelligence on smuggling organization activities in or around the river. You see what I'm saying? You see how they working now to see if he was distressed. Okay? Because see, this is their protection. Remember, they have the skin. We don't have the skin. We're black. We don't have the skin for the protection. Okay? So if they're white, they're going to have the protection, or if they're Asian, or if they're, Hispanic, or they're, like I said, Afghan, Mexicans, they have the complexion for the protection. Negro, you're from Haiti, nigger, you're from the hood. Y'all don't have the protection, the complexion for the protection. So now the Border Patrol director is trying to make excuse for this agent on the horse trying to whip, or probably did whip. I don't know to see the video, but trying to get these Caribbeans with a whip here. Okay. Many of the Haitians currently at the border are believed to have been living in South America after the 2010 earthquake in Haiti. But the tolls of the coronavirus pandemic on the region fuel migration to U.S. southern border. Haiti is also reeling from the earthquake in August that resulted in more than 2,000 deaths and 1,000 more injuries, as well as the assassination of President Jovenel Moise in July. For those reasons, more than 50 Democratic lawmakers urged the Biden administration in a letter earlier this month to halt deportation to the countries. Okay? So, of course, they said, well, we had some Democrats tell the president to do this. But you know, old Jim Crow Joe, he's not going to look at that. You look at them and say, oh, them are niggers. We're not fit to worry about that. Let's go ahead and get back as to who we can put in jail now. Thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. So there you have it, folks. That's the end of that article. CNN, politics, the Biden presidency. And notice, man, everywhere Biden go, man, everybody is saying, fuck you, Biden, F you, Biden. They're just calling him out. They don't even like him. I'm just telling you what they were saying. Okay. They do not like Biden. They was everywhere he go to a baseball game or some crowd, everybody is saying F you. Everywhere he go. He can go here, people are upset with him. He go other places, people are upset with him. They're saying they want Trump back in office. This is what we have to talk about. See, when Trump was in office, every individual was getting that smoke. That's what I liked about him. He was like, we are white supremacists and we don't give a damn about you shitbags of your country, or we don't care about this Afghan, or we don't care about that. Close my borders and let's basically make sure nobody come over here. That's the type of president, if you basically want a white man to tell you the truth, you get a conservative in office because he's going to let you know where he stands. You don't get nobody out here faking and pretending like they're going to help you, and then they undermine you and then tell you basically that, oh, well, you shouldn't have a problem with us helping everybody. But wait a minute, man. This is the country that black folks built, not these immigrants. These immigrants and all these people who coming over here, who cutting in front of us, they did not build this country. And then when the Native Americans, when basically after they got killed off, they basically turned around and helped white folks to enslave other black people. You understand? So these people have been trying to undermine us for years. We're talking about years. And since black folks, since our history is being hidden and black folks are too lazy to learn it, we go over here thinking everybody's our friends. No, we're telling you to hold your own nuts. What are y'all gonna do about these Haitians? Thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. You see, and if the Haitians, if they would have basically been over here connecting with black folks, helping us to coordinate things, we probably would have been at the border. Man, this is not wrong, right, man. You probably had black folks down there flipping over police cars like we did in George Floyd. Man, that's not right, man. Y'all let them over here. Y'all letting these Afghans over here, man. Because you know how black folks, you know how we basically confront these white supremacists. We get down like that. Not all, but most of us do. And so that's the reason why we told the civil rights generation, y'all got to go sit down somewhere. Y'all not speaking for us no more. And let us deal with the white supremacists. What D.L. Hughley say? These are all white folks over here in America. Yeah, these are all white folks. Y'all go back over there and worry about those white folks in Great Britain and other European countries, France, and all these other white people who are dealing with y'all. And let black folks over here in America, we handle these white folks. These are our white people over here. You know what I'm saying? Let us deal with these white folks over here. You understand? And so, therefore, coordinating efforts, we basically will be able now to see what's going on at the borders. But y'all are trying to run over here to the United States because your country is in turmoil. We understand that your president had just got assassinated. We understand that. But why are you allowing people to dictate your foreign policy? And how can Florida, Miami, that your president have some type of relationship with somebody in Miami, and then that person is able to send somebody over there to kill him in his country or what have you? Now we know that the United States had a hand in that. We understand that. But let's look at this. The country has to then keep certain folks out of there. Your coons got to go. You see, we criticize our coons here in America all the time. You see, and so they put like people like Candace Owens, who are not really a foundation of Black America or a Black Native. She come over here. She basically dating a white man. She took the easy way out. She took the easy way out to get ahead. But the white man that she's with want her to stay talking about black people so that she can have a situation where she can then have a public eye, and then the white husband can feel comfortable about bringing his black wife out there. But that's because she's still young, of course. But when these black women start getting up into age, they start wanting somebody else. You understand? You got to understand here how white daddy is using you here, using you to propagate here. Candace Owens has no business talking about what black folks doing in America. And now she basically cannot even go to the Caribbean or go back to whatever her native island country is, and speak about what's going on there, trying to talk about what black folks got going on here. What about your country here? Why are you not talking about what's going on in the borders, Candace Owens? Why are you not speaking out on why your white daddy is not advocating for there to be fairness among black folks and giving us our reparations for 400 years of slavery? When you talk there about absences, those are not causes. They try to, she got this white conservative talking point that fatherhood and fathers not in the homes, that is what is causing poverty among black kids. That's no. Those are not those are not the effects here. No, those are not the. Here's the thing about the cause and effects situation. you have to first look and see what causes black families to break up. What caused the black family in the 1980s to break up? What was the cause of that? And the effects then is that the family is now broken up. Okay, so they want to deal with the effects, but not the causes. They don't want to deal with the drugs that was shipped into the black community. They don't want to deal with all of the LGBT propaganda that basically influenced black women to leave their men. They don't want to deal with the fact that the welfare system is helping to do all this. And she mentioned some of that, which I agree to a certain extent. But you have to also understand that those are effects, they're not the causes. You see, white people can't talk about that this society is getting better until they do the right thing about giving us our reparations. They owe us for 465 years plus of slavery, Jim Crow, Reconstruction, redlining, and what went on at the times that in almost all 50 states where we had a Black Wall Street that they came and burned down. Police corruption, brutality, killing and shooting unarmed black people. All of those are really the causes of black people not being able to move like they need to be. Going back to that hip hop, that Love and Hip Hop star who gets 17 years in federal prison, and you have the FBI agent coming out there talking about we won't tolerate that, and then you look and see all these white folks with the same type of scam going on, not only in PPP loan fraud, but also in the stock market, and the FBI is not going after them. You see, and this is what we're talking about. But this is black men's fault because black men agreed to the system. You have some black man up there being feeling good because he's a black police chief, or a black woman talking about I'm the first black woman to sit on the board of IBM. So what? You understand? So what? And how is that helping the rest of us? See, and that's what Jim Crow Joe Biden. Take a look. Take a listen to what Jim Crow Joe Biden's going to say after he try to go for a reelection. He's going to say that, hey, I helped more black people than anybody else. No, the hell you did. He's going to then reach. He's going to then mention. He's going to mention what he did for George Floyd's family by inviting them to the White House. You see, what white people do is they basically help one individual black folks or a few individual black folks and then say, well, that's the progress for every race. Okay? But why do they think that black people are a threat, though? Why is the Afghans no threat? Why is the Asians no threat? Why is the Hispanics are no threat? Latinos or whoever. Why basically do white people like them more over than black folks? Why do they basically want them in major positions over black people? Okay. Now we already know though that China, of course, is in a silent war with the United States. And China basically have came to, of course, challenge them, and so have Japan. You know, don't forget that Japan, that we keep on giving them 80% or helping to produce 80% of their food supply here. But what we have to understand is that the United States basically is looking at black folks and saying, well, you niggers, y'all have always been our backbone. So we don't have to really do anything for you. So other nations, we're going to cooperate with them. We're going to give them bread and butter so that we can keep the peace as long as white folks is on top and you niggers stay on bottom. And so we'll undermine you because we know that we have a history of bringing Mexicans over, illegals, and other Afghanistans and people over here. We gave millions of dollars to Afghanistans per day while we was in a so-called war with them over oil. Family, where have black people got out of voting for the Democrats? I'm not saying that the Republicans are either better. You know, they keep on reminding folks of this because every time they like to say, "Oh, you just a black conservative." No, I did a huge piece on the black conservative. What do a black conservative conserve? He wants to conserve the system that has robbed him of his economic system in the first place. He has nothing to conserve. You understand? Chat now with me, okay? Chat now with me. Leave the correspondence. But yeah, we wanted to just go in on what was going on regarding what's going on in Haiti. Okay. And you know, sometime I have enough time to come on. We're doing the film Davion and Michaela, so I can't keep my regular schedule now because it was either going off for 30 days or just coming on when I can. But yeah, come back and listen to this video to see why the new voices of black media is important, to see why black people need to come together and create their own economic system and leave white people and their strategy alone. Get the white folks out of your country if they're basically only there to keep them with all the resources and you with nothing and your folks with nothing. Get them out of your country. Okay? And then I heard on somebody's video, I don't know if it was Tariq Nasheed or somebody's channel, where when they said that Haiti had earthquakes, they said that they have the power to do that because of all this technology that they have. When we talked there about, um, you know, the the space station and the astronauts and all these other folks, we talked there about them basically making the earth shake certain areas. You understand? And I don't know how true that is, um, but that could be basically why Haiti. We know why Haiti basically is still getting that smoke because of the 1804 revolution. You understand? So we know why they are always after Haiti. It was the only black country there that revolted against the Europeans at that time. Okay. So the 1804 revolution, there's a movie about this, I think Tariq had done, and it talks about the Haitian revolt against, I think it was France or whatever. But yeah, just go and read and look at that because that's very important that you do. Also, don't forget that the country had a president that was going to basically do real good business. He got tired of just being an Uncle Tom, what we understood, but he was really focusing on removing from that Uncle Tom. He was really Mike was going to then go from, being an Uncle Tom to being what like Mugabe was doing. Like first he was bootlicking for the British Queen and all these folks. I think that this president that they assassinated was going to be the same way. He was moving probably towards a more, um, more of a black nationalist situation. Okay, um, and that basically was probably one of the reasons why he was assassinated. I think that he was going to basically control any type of oil or something that if the country knew that they had any type of oil or any other material that the Europeans would want, then I think he was going to be more and more harsh on how that could be allocated to any country. Okay, and they kept on mentioning Aristide coming back because Aristide he's been bootlicking ever since the '90s when Clinton was in office. Aristide, man, every time Haiti is in turmoil, you'll see him show up because that's who America won in office, so that he can then pimp the people and basically nationalize the oil, and whatever they got. He basically will sell it for cheap so that the United States could come rich off the raw material from Haiti. That's why they like President Aristide. He was being used as a puppeteer all the time during the Clinton administration, and that's what they like to do. They like to find these bootleg Negroes from the countries who's over there exploiting the people. You understand? So that's every time Haiti have a problem, they'll mention Aristide because they like how Clinton was able to manipulate Aristide back in the 90s to get him to nationalize all of his material, things of that nature. That's the reason why that the country has stayed like it is, the conditions like it is. You understand? But the problem with also with Haiti is they're not wanting to give black folks dual citizenship. That's the problem with a lot of black countries in Africa. Where is our dual citizenship so that we can come over there and help you, brothers and sisters, and to get your the first way to get the coons out of your country. Like we're working with the coons over here, getting them out of here, and the civil rights generation, getting them up out of here. We have to deal with the coons in your country first. You have to deal with them. You have to get them the hell out of there. You understand? All right. So that has been our commentary for the day. Thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget, folks, that we're going to come in and do a podcast when we can for like at least a month or two. And then we'll be back on our regular schedule program, which is on Thursday and Sunday at 8 p.m., let's say starting in December. Okay? Like, thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. ScrewTube, of course, do have us on a shallow band. They basically had sent me a community email talking about they're going to take one of my. They've already took one of my videos down. When we talked there about the vaccine, they took that video down about the doctor who basically was confronting what's his name, Fauci. They took that video down. Um, so they've been really after me as far as being a commentary contributing to the black media. And that's the reason why we have to then take our videos and record them and put them on other platforms so that we can continue to give these white supremacists this work. We can also get the information out to the new black grassroots and also get them to basically help in to mobilize because nobody is listening to the civil rights generation no more. The old dead black media, like Black Enterprise, they're no longer relevant anymore. And so now what we're doing is they're going to really get upset when they start to see that the new grass black media may have coming in the future not only books, but guess what? The new black grass media is going to be now putting out newspaper in the future. Oh yeah, that's right. The black grassroots are going to now start doing newspapers. Now we know that a lot of people don't read the newspapers as often as they used to, but hey, we need to put stuff out in print so that we can go back and also have a newspaper that show content of what happened in a particular time. Okay, so just don't be surprised when the black grassroots we get together and everybody's contributing to the newspaper for the black grassroots newspaper. Y'all are going to be like, what? I didn't know that the black grassroots had a newspaper that we're going to be circulating so that we can basically take on CNN and all these fools, or no, not CNN, but what you call it, the New York Times and the Washington Post and all these other folks, the Chicago Tribune, all of them that has newspapers circulating around the United States. Well, guess what? The black grassroots may be having a newspaper coming to a doorstep near you. I'm Lawyer Henderson. Thank you for joining us on the Lawyer Henderson Show. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We're still filming the film Davion and Michaela. Shout out to all of my actors. They have been doing a good job so far. We basically have gotten our first, this week we were wrapped up our first scheduled shooting schedule. And we looked at the content. It is very, 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 very good. It shows clear. It's very, very good. Uh, all of my actors, they did a great, wonderful job. Man, Davion Michaela, it's based upon an ebook. My publisher is trying to put this in paperback now. Man, we're moving to bigger and better things. You're listening to the Lawyer Henderson podcast show. See ya.